Today I'm going to teach you how to put color into your Illustrator file. There are two ways of doing this. One is subtractive and the other is additive. I have an image here that has been image traced. Now to do the subtractive method, I'm going to go over to my menu bar and I'm going to select the square tool, and I've clicked on that, and I'm going to make a square right around the leaf, which is the thing that we're going to color in. Now you can see that that square is currently white on the inside and black on the outside. I don't want that. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to double click onto the white, and that's going to open up a color picker palette, and I'm going to select the red. It could be any color that you want to use, and now you see where we're at. We've got the red fill with the black outline. I don't want the black outline, so I'm going to click on the outline here. The outline is going to come to the front, and I'm going to go down here and click on the slash tool, which means that there's no color, and you can see that the outline has disappeared. Now, the other issue that we have is that we want to be able to see our leaf. So I'm going to go up to the top here, and I'm going to go under Object, Arrange, Send to Back, and you can see that it has brought that square behind my traced image in the front. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my palette and I'm going to select the eraser tool, and then I can come around here and I can erase all of the area that we do not want to include in our image. And I'm going pretty fast here. If you want to change the size of your eraser, you can double click on the eraser tool, and then a palette will come up and you can change the size of it. Okay, so there's that, and you can see when I come up close that the outline is actually bigger than the object, but because it's behind our traced image, it doesn't really matter. I am going to clean this up just a little bit to make sure that none of the edges are poking out, maybe down here too. Okay, so there's that. So that is the subtractive method. Now we're going to get rid of this. I'm going to press delete. So now we're going to do the additive method. And so for the additive method, I'm going to select my paintbrush tool. But before we do that, what we want to do is we want to go over to our layers, and we're going to come over here. And so I've clicked on layers. So if you were in, let's say, libraries, you want to click over to layers. And then you can see that there's just one layer right now, and that's the artboard and the outline. I'm going to go over to the hamburger, which is that 3 or 4 lines at the top, and I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go down to New Layer. And then this is going to pop up, and I'm going to call that red. You can call it whatever you like, whatever makes sense. Okay, now you can see that the red, whatever layer you've just made, that's going to be on the top. I want to grab it and I'm going to bring it down below layer 1. So now that any sort of mark that I make will be below this layer, okay? So we're going to go over to the paintbrush and I'm going to click on that. And now let's see what the paintbrush does right now. So we're going to paint right here, okay? And you can see that right now it is the fill and the outline. Okay, now let's say you want to change the paintbrush so that you can control the shape that you're using. I'm going to go over to, let's see, window, and I'm going to come down to, where are you? I want to go down to brushes. There we go. And now this comes up, and I can click onto what I want to do here. So I can change it from being small to big, right? Do you see how big it is now? Much bigger. But that's too big for us. So I'm going to go to the small, and then I can also change the colors, and you can change the size as well. And you can do that by going up to the hamburger and going up to brush options or down to brush options. And now you can see that you can change the angle, you can change the roundness, so you can have one that's skinny and long, or you can have one that's fully round. I like ones that are fully round just because I can count on the shape. And then you can change the size. So I'm at 2 points right now, but you could make it bigger if you want to. For this size that I'm working on, 2 points is just about right. So we'll go over to 2 again, and then I can press OK. And then I want to, I'm just going to say leave strokes. Okay. We're going to get rid of some of this stuff that we don't need, so we're going to do commands. Oh. So I'm going to click on these and just get rid of them. Okay. Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get rid of that and make that see-through. And so it just is leaving the stroke. Then I can go up to the paintbrush and I can fill this in. So this would be additive. And I'm going to just come around here and go all the way around. All the way around. And voila. Oh, we want to do that little guy too. Okay, now that's what we have there. So that looks good. Now, what the next thing I want you to do, you don't have to do this, but let's say you want, that was made up of 2 strokes. Let's say you want those 2 strokes to be merged. What you can do is you can go back up over here. I'm going to get rid of the outside layer so we can really see what we're working with, and that just leaves the shape. Then what I can do is I can click over the whole thing, and I can go over to, let's see, Window, and go down to Pathfinder. Oh, you know what, before we do that, I'm sorry, we're going to go over to Object, Expand Appearance, and that's going to switch it from an outline to a fill. Okay, so we're switching from an outline to a fill. Then I'm going to go over to Window, I'm going to go down to Pathfinder, and then my Pathfinder tool will pop up, and I'm going to go to the shape models, or shape modes, and I'm going to click on the first one, and that's going to unite the shape. And so now the shape that used to be made up of 2 strokes is now a solid. And so now I can move it around, and it's a solid shape. Another way of handling that, if you have a number of strokes that you want to connect, is to go up to Object and Group. So there are a number of ways that you can do that. You can, with each new color, you can add a new layer, or you can build them within the same layer. That's just fine. You just have to sort of stay mentally organized. Okay, that's it.